The unspoken truth behind your need for peace. You've had those days, haven't you, where the everyday world just feels like too much, a jarring symphony of noise, constant demands, and a heavy emotional atmosphere. People, trying to be helpful or perhaps just confused, often resort to calling you too sensitive. But deep inside, where your true self resides, you know that label doesn't capture what's truly happening. There's a profound hidden mechanism at work, something beneath the surface that others simply aren't equipped to see or understand. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this secret truth and finally give a name to the powerful inner wiring that makes you crave silence, peace, and order above all else. This isn't about weakness, it's about a higher state of alignment. The soul's deep detection system. For years, you've carried this subtle yet persistent tension, a quiet alarm bell that rings every time your environment escalates into chaos, volume, or excessive clutter. This overwhelm you feel is not a failure on your part, nor is it an attempt to shrink away from life. It's a precise, instantaneous response from a part of you that detects subtle energy before your logical mind can even formulate a thought. You are keenly attuned to the unsaid, the hidden feelings lingering in a space, the true intentions behind a person's words, and the emotional currents that flow between people. While the majority of the world seeks external stimulation to feel alive, your instinct guides you to step back. This withdrawal isn't motivated by fear. It is driven by an innate necessity for clarity and depth. You are fundamentally structured to engage with life on a level far deeper than surface-level interactions. Though you may have been dismissed as overly quiet, emotionally fragile, or perhaps even antisocial, the reality is far more compelling. Your innermost spirit has a zero-tolerance policy for anything that threatens its carefully maintained equilibrium. Your deliberate choice of quiet over clamor isn't avoidance. It is a conscious spiritual alignment. You operate with an elevated internal frequency that the common environment simply cannot match. For you, noise is inherently jarring and foreign because your spirit is constantly filtering for signals that most people remain completely oblivious to their entire lives. Chaos does more than just annoy you. It actively interrupts the essential, subtle flow of intuitive guidance you rely upon. Furthermore, emotional turbulence and drama don't just deplete your energy. They effectively cloud the channel through which your most profound wisdom and intuition speak. Today marks the day you fully grasp the deep, underlying reason why a simple thing like noise, chaos, or emotional instability registers as such a profound impact on your being. It's also the day you realize why your very soul relentlessly pulls you back toward the sanctuary of silence. As these words sink in, a significant internal shift will occur. A sense of deep recognition, like finally remembering the powerful, unconditioned person you truly are beneath all the world's expectations. Your spiritual nervous system. Have you ever wondered why your physical body reacts with such intensity and speed? A tightening in your chest, a sudden change in breathing, or a noticeable sharpening of your senses, even before your mind can articulate the threat. This is because those who are highly attuned, often described as chosen ones, possess an incredible tool that remains invisible and unrecognized by most: a spiritual nervous system. This is not merely poetic language or a vague metaphor. It is a very real, unseen infrastructure of perception woven intricately through your emotional memory and intuition. This spiritual nervous system acts as an energetic radar, sending you instant, quiet signals from your soul. While the majority of humanity navigates life largely blind to subtle energetic fields, you instantly detect and process what remains unspoken. You pick up on the faint tremor in a voice that indicates deceit, the weighted silence that follows a hidden disagreement, and the emotional residue left in a space after individuals in conflict have departed. You sense it all instantaneously. This immediate sensing, which others mistakenly judge as overreaction, is actually your powerful inner radar activating. It is warning you, meticulously guiding you, and instinctively shielding your spirit from anything it registers as unsafe or non-conducive to your purpose. When you feel a sudden, inexplicable rush in your heart, or an almost electric feeling around specific individuals, or a sudden, unexplained mental alertness, understand this. Your spirit is reading the environmental data faster than your conscious senses can even begin to translate it. This heightened sensitivity is absolutely not a weakness or a flaw. It is the very essential mechanism that has brilliantly navigated you away from situations, relationships, and environments that would have completely derailed your purpose, drained your essential vitality, or caused significant spiritual damage. Most people only perceive the world through the limitations of the physical plane, but you are gifted with the ability to see through multiple energetic layers, the emotional, the spiritual, and the purely physical. Because you are able to discern future tension long before it manifests, sense visible drama before it fully erupts, and recognize subtle danger before it becomes evident, your deepest instincts compel you to move away from the source of the noise. Your inner architecture is designed not just to cope, but to transcend the very environments that others are merely sleepwalking through. There is a deeper, more specialized trait that truly sets you apart: the way you absorb and internalize external projections. You don't simply observe energy, you physically feel it, you actively process it, and if you are not diligently careful, you end up carrying it. This is why spending time with a single emotionally turbulent person can completely deplete you, why a loud environment feels like a minute-by-minute drain, and why intense emotional instability can register as a literal physical shock to your system. Your spiritual nervous system operates in a constant state of advanced filtration, meticulously interpreting and deciding what genuinely aligns with your core identity and what poses a significant threat to your inner stability. Unbeknownst to your conscious mind for much of your life, this powerful, subtle ability has been actively sculpting your path, guiding every major decision, deftly steering you away from incompatible individuals, and gently but firmly pulling you towards the essential solitude of silence. Silence is your necessary reset button. It is the only place where your entire system can fully recharge, recalibrate, and reconnect to its original, pure frequency. But here is the profound insight that fundamentally shifts everything. Your spirit's reaction to noise, chaos, or emotional intensity is never just a response to the external environment. It is simultaneously a clear, unmistakable compass pointing you toward a deep revelation about your true, powerful identity. Once you fully internalize this critical revelation, your perspective on your own sensitivity and your place in the world will be forever transformed. Prepare yourself, because the ultimate truth behind that intense reaction is about to be unveiled. And it is a piece of understanding that will change everything about how you view your life's journey. Chaos disrupts your divine frequency written into the core essence of highly attuned souls is an unwavering, quiet law. This law dictates how your unique energy moves, how it responds to stimuli, and how it is meant to expand. You simply do not operate on the same vibrational bandwidth as the noisy world swirling around you. While many people may thrive on the sheer volume of distraction and constant noise, your entire being is specifically tuned to a much higher signal, a divine frequency that can only operate optimally in conditions of absolute clarity. For you, peace is not a mere preference or a desired amenity. It is an absolute soul requirement essential for maintaining alignment with your life's true purpose. This is the simple, powerful reason why chaotic environments impact you with a ferocity that most people could never begin to comprehend. Every highly attuned individual naturally carries an inner frequency that radiates profound peace, deep spiritual intelligence, and invaluable insight. This energy isn't physically observable, but it is deeply and undeniably felt by everyone you encounter. This elevated frequency is the reason why people often feel instantly safe and secure in your presence, even without understanding why. It's the reason others instinctively and effortlessly open up to you, almost without conscious intention. It explains why your simple, silent presence has the power to shift and temper the entire atmosphere of a room. However, precisely because your vibration is so refined and elevated, it is acutely susceptible to disruption. Distortion, excessive noise, unnecessary drama, continuous emotional conflict, overwhelming personalities, chaotic external environments, and especially unstable people with unpredictable motives. All of these elements interrupt your core frequency in the exact same destructive way that static completely scrambles a pristine radio signal. You are tuned to a divine higher band, and the world is often full of unwanted interference. This is the genuine, non-negotiable reason why you feel an intense irritation and urgency to leave loud, cluttered spaces. It's not a sign of fragility. It's your spirit recognizing a threat that is actively pulling you off your center. That utter exhaustion you feel after enduring time with turbulent individuals is not typical social fatigue. It is a profound energetic disturbance. Your entire system has been working in overdrive, desperately trying to filter and process the heavy emotional noise those people inject into your sacred space. That sinking, heavy feeling in your chest when you enter a tense atmosphere is your frequency instinctively recoiling from a foreign energy that violently clashes with your own. Your soul is in a constant, high-level scan for harmony. When harmony is absent, your intuition immediately steps in, acting as a relentless guardian, firmly urging you to withdraw, to slow down, or most critically, to leave the situation entirely. You have likely noticed the after effects of being around incompatible people. Your thoughts become scattered, your innate clarity fades, your intuition's voice grows quieter, and your body feels significantly heavier, as if your essential energy has been forcibly dragged down several vibrational levels. This is a direct consequence. Chaos doesn't just impact your temporary mood. It severely disrupts your vital connection to divine wisdom, to spiritual downloads, and to the quiet, powerful insight you receive when your frequency is stable and undisturbed. You function like a magnificent, finely tuned instrument, and like any precise instrument, you absolutely require silence and stillness to maintain your accuracy. A compass violently shaken cannot reliably point north. A fragile violin placed carelessly in a storm cannot hold its note. In the same exact way, your powerful soul cannot transmit its essential guidance when it is buried beneath the overwhelming weight of cluttered, unmanaged energy. And this is a truth the conventional world will never tell you. But here is the most profound, deeper truth you must grasp. Chaotic individuals don't just interrupt your frequency. They often subconsciously depend on the strength of your light and clarity to stabilize their own internal turbulence. This is precisely why they seek to cling, why they endlessly vent, and why they instinctively attempt to pull you into their storms. They sense your unique clarity, even though they lack the language or understanding to explain it. However, your spirit is intimately aware of the true, destructive cost of this dynamic. That is why it immediately withdraws. That is why it enacts a powerful internal shutdown. That is why it pulls you strongly towards sacred silence before you even consciously realize what is wrong. Your frequency is absolutely critical. It must remain intact and pristine for the pivotal, purposeful path that lies ahead of you. Emotional drama is an attack on your purpose. Observe that subtle, yet defining moment that most people miss entirely. When emotional drama enters a room, your entire being instantly reacts. Your thoughts become sharp, your breathing pattern alters, and your muscles tense. It is your spirit stepping forward as a guardian before your mind fully processes the reason. This feeling is not mere discomfort, it is detection. Emotional drama doesn't simply irritate you, it actively violates something profoundly sacred within your core. To the average person, petty disagreements, endless back and forth tension, and unnecessary emotional theatrics are just a normal part of daily living. But for you, these events feel like pure contamination, akin to heavy, toxic smoke, aggressively entering lungs that were never meant to inhale it. You are simply not wired for pointless conflict, manipulative tension, or dramatic shows of emotion. This isn't because you are passive or lack compassion. It's because your spirit carries a distinct blueprint for a high-level purpose. Drama interferes with this divine blueprint like a malicious virus attacking the most vital code. Every single time someone attempts to lure you into gossip, shallow conflict, or unnecessary relational complications, your deepest intuition rises up with an almost physical, undeniable force. It whispers one clear message: this is profoundly beneath your purpose. Your mind actively rejects the noise because emotional clutter steals clarity. Your body tightens because your nervous system calculates the immense energetic cost of remaining in that destabilizing environment. Your intuition issues a stern warning because drama severely dilutes your capacity to hear divine instruction. Highly attuned individuals do not experience drama as a simple inconvenience. They perceive it as an existential threat. It is not a threat to physical safety, but an insidious threat to spiritual alignment. Every moment you spend immersed in chaos is a moment forcibly stolen from your essential growth. Every meaningless argument is a disastrous detour from the direct path you were born to walk. Every emotionally unstable person attempting to pull you into their personal whirlwind is functioning as a heavy, spiritual anchor trying to attach itself to a ship meant to sail far beyond the visible horizon. You have undoubtedly observed that after dealing with high-drama individuals, your innate creativity dims, your deep sense of peace weakens, your spiritual insight feels distant, your motivation turns foggy, and your inner fire noticeably cools. This is not arbitrary. It is direct spiritual interference. Drama drains the very life, fuel, that sustains your core being and allows you to be who you are. While others may chase emotional chaos for a superficial sense of excitement or entertainment, you feel a deep, visceral rejection, a sense that your very destiny is being forcibly tugged away. Drama is not merely a distraction. It is a meticulously crafted trap designed specifically to keep powerful, purposeful souls stuck indefinitely in destructive cycles they were born to shatter. You were not created to waste your precious time fighting petty, meaningless battles. You are not meant to exhaust yourself explaining your truth to people who are stubbornly committed to misunderstanding you. You are certainly not designed to dedicate your energy to constantly fixing emotional storms that others consciously choose to generate. Your divine calling demands unshakable clarity. Your future requires focused discipline. Your spirit requires ample space to healthily grow, evolve, and expand into its highest form. This is why emotional drama registers as a deep spiritual attack. It aggressively attempts to pull you into a distorted, lower version of life that was never intended for you. But there is an even more profound layer to this truth. Every time you consciously reject drama, you are not just safeguarding your immediate peace. You are actively and powerfully protecting the future version of yourself that chaos would have irreparably damaged, significantly delayed, or even destroyed. You are not simply avoiding conflict, you are obeying alignment. You thrive in silence because that's where God speaks. Within your inner world lies a profound, sacred realm that only truly awakens when the incessant noise and activity outside of you become completely still. This is a realm that most people will never access, largely because they are utterly terrified of silence. But for you, silence is not an empty void. It is a profound and sacred meeting place. It is the hallowed room where heaven itself leans in to communicate. The instant the world's noise recedes, even for a brief moment, something fundamentally shifts within your spirit. Suddenly, the complex thoughts that once felt hopelessly tangled begin to effortlessly unravel. The persistent questions that haunted you become undeniably clearer. The fears that felt overwhelming miraculously lose their power. In the quiet, you stop hearing the noise of the external world, and you begin to hear the essential, coded messages that were specifically meant for you. This is the deeply personal, most sacred part of your life that few people ever witness, the powerful exchange happening in your solitude. Others may wrongly assume you are merely isolating, resting, daydreaming, or overthinking. But they remain completely oblivious that in those sacred, quiet moments, Your spirit is actively receiving blueprints for your path, clear divine warnings, vital strategies, profound future revelations, and deep inner confirmations that the chaos would instantly drown out. For you, silence is not empty, it is meticulously coded. It carries essential direction, invaluable information, and spiritual downloads intended only for you. This is why you crave solitude with such intensity. Your soul vividly remembers an ancient truth that your mind often conveniently forgets. God speaks most clearly when the world's clamor stops trying to compete with the signal. When you allow yourself to be truly alone, the disparate pieces of your life suddenly, powerfully click into their rightful place. You grasp profound concepts you couldn't articulate before. You discern intricate patterns, understand true motives, and see essential truths that were completely masked while the world was desperately pulling you in a million directions. In silence, you don't merely think, you awaken. And every deep awakening births a new, elevated layer of your true self. Silence is your personal rebirth chamber, the sacred space where you willingly shed old, outgrown identities and step decisively into the powerful ones your destiny absolutely requires. It's where you process the pain that wounded you without allowing it to harden your heart. It's the catalyst for transforming profound pain into undeniable purpose. It is the place where you become the future version of the person your next chapter needs you to be. When you choose quiet, you can finally hear the subtle cues that others are too distracted to ever notice. The gentle pull of perfect intuition, the unmistakable whispers of divine timing, and the firm internal nudges that guide you away from wrong turns and propel you toward the right path. This is the gentle, powerful voice that reminds you of your absolute protection and guidance, even when every external circumstance feels uncertain. The most powerful element of all is this: you don't just receive direction in the silence, you become direction. Your mental clarity grows sharper. Your innate discernment becomes stronger and more accurate. Your profound sense of purpose becomes undeniably fixed. Your spirit becomes completely unshakable. This is precisely why chaotic people will never truly understand your deep hunger for solitude. They don't realize that every time you consciously step into silence, you are deliberately stepping into perfect alignment. You are stepping into elevation. You are stepping directly into the restorative, powerful presence that continually renews your essence. Silence is not your way to escape the world's reality. Silence is the only way you are able to powerfully rise above it. Your energy was meant to be guarded, not given away. There is a defining moment of profound clarity in every highly attuned life. A moment when you look back and finally grasp the sheer amount of vital energy you generously poured into people who never deserved even a single drop of it. This was not because you were naive. It was because you were inherently generous. You saw incredible potential in individuals who only saw an easy opportunity. You felt personally responsible for maintaining peace in spaces that were fundamentally built upon conflict. You mistakenly believed that your powerful heart could uplift others without losing any piece of yourself. But every single time you willingly walked into an environment that actively depleted you, every time you tolerated a person who deliberately fed on your vital light, and every time you stayed in situations that drastically lowered your internal vibration, your spirit was relentlessly sending you a clear, powerful message you were not yet ready to fully receive. Not everyone is meant to have access to you. Your unique presence is not ordinary or common. Your time is not casual. Your incredible mind is not a playground for others' thoughts. Your heart is not an open door for just anyone who decides to walk through it. You were born with a transformative energy that has the power to awaken, uplift, clarify, heal, and expose. An energy powerful enough to literally shift entire atmospheres. This powerful, sacred energy must be diligently protected and profoundly guarded, not carelessly distributed for free. The difficult truth is that some people were drawn to you, not because they genuinely valued the person you are, but because your strong light made their own internal darkness feel momentarily less heavy. Your gentle kindness soothed them. Your innate stability grounded them. Your wisdom guided them. Your intuition offered them comfort. They siphoned energy from your spirit as if it were their personal lifeline, and then, invariably, left you feeling completely empty once they had taken what they needed. Every instance you felt inexplicably drained, every time your inner peace felt violently shaken after a simple interaction, and every time you needed days of recovery from a single conversation, your spirit was issuing a critical warning. Access to you was far too cheap. You were freely giving away pieces of your essence that were never meant to be scattered. You were sharing your powerful energy with individuals whose only intention was to take, never to genuinely contribute or give back. But now a powerful shift is occurring deep within your soul. You are no longer willing to be so readily available to every hand that reaches out to you. You are no longer willing to dim your own brightness so that others can remain comfortably small. You are no longer willing to carry immense emotional weight that absolutely does not belong to you. Your discomfort with chaos is not simple moodiness. It is divine guidance fiercely pulling you out of spaces where your powerful spirit cannot possibly grow and expand. This discomfort is a spiritual alarm, clearly declaring, this environment cannot handle the level of clarity and purpose that resides within you. You are not meant to blend in with the noise. You are meant to rise powerfully above it. And rising requires the ultimate protection of what is sacred, your peace, your purpose, your absolute focus, your emotional capacity, and your spiritual frequency. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. These gates are guarded by wisdom and discernment. They are the decisive checkpoints that determine exactly who gets near your spirit and who must respectfully remain outside. Your essential boundaries are not selfish acts. They are your spiritual armor. They are a vital part of your calling. They guarantee that your energy remains potent, pure, and completely prepared for the critical path you are destined to walk. The precise moment you begin to profoundly honor your own unique energy, you step into a version of yourself that is impossible to manipulate, completely immune to drainage, and utterly unable to be dimmed. But there is one final, all-encompassing truth, a climactic revelation that ties every piece of this journey together. Everything you have learned up to this very moment leads to a single, life-altering realization. Once you hear it, you will finally understand why your entire, unique journey unfolded exactly as it did. Your peace is your power. Listen with your whole spirit now, because everything you've absorbed so far has been leading you to this one precise moment. The deep tension you've carried your whole life, the intense sensitivity you could never fully explain, the rapid, protective way your spirit reacts before your mind fully comprehends. None of it was arbitrary or random. You were never too much, you were never too sensitive, you were never too quiet. You were, in fact, perfectly tuned for a destiny that requires unwavering clarity, absolute purity, and a level of spiritual awareness that most people will never, ever achieve. You are not strange. You are not overly dramatic. You are not antisocial. You are powerfully aligned with a higher assignment, an assignment that mandates a fundamentally different way of existing, moving, sensing, and listening in the world. The reason chaos actively drains you is simple. Your powerful soul simply refuses to be polluted. The reason noise completely overwhelms you is because your internal frequency was meticulously calibrated for revelation, not for constant, meaningless distraction. The reason drama registers as so hostile to your spirit is because it poses a direct, existential threat to the sacred mission written into your core. Your internal discomfort has always been your clearest divine communication. Your deliberate withdrawal has always been your most potent spiritual protection. Your chosen silence has always been your most sacred, guarded territory. Your spirit immediately recognizes what your destiny absolutely cannot coexist with. It has been relentlessly fighting to keep you perfectly aligned, even during those times when you couldn't understand the why. Now you do. And this profound level of understanding is your ultimate liberation. From this moment forward, you must honor your deep peace as if it were the very oxygen you breathe. Guard your sacred energy as if it were the holiest ground. Immediately walk away from anything that aggressively attempts to dim your clarity, distort your unique frequency, or pull you out of essential alignment. Never apologize for your non-negotiable need for quiet. Never feel an ounce of guilt for deliberately choosing solitude. Never, ever shrink your powerful discernment just to make others feel more comfortable with their own chaos. That quiet you crave is precisely where your greatest power resides. That silence is the very channel through which your divine instructions arrive. That inner peace is the essential foundation upon which your elevation begins. Now, as you step confidently into the next powerful chapter of your life, allow this single, transformative truth to sink deep into the core of your spirit. You are not here to merely survive the world's noise. You are here to powerfully rise far above it. You are not here to simply blend in with the surrounding chaos. You are here to confidently stand powerfully apart. You are not here to endlessly absorb turbulence. You are here to command peace. If this deep, unwavering message resonated with something ancient and undeniably true inside you, if it awakened a sacred memory your soul has carried since the very beginning of your journey, then now is the time to declare it as a final, powerful seal over your entire life. Say it with absolute conviction. Say it with undeniable spiritual authority. Say it like you finally and fully understand the magnificent person you were created to be. Let this be the defining moment you never forget. My peace is my power.